We are less than a week from Rangers season officially beginning with that epic testimonial against Newcastle United. I use epic because Al McGregor's testimonial, looking forward to it, sold out. I mean, not many clubs could sell out a testimonial, and it's going to be good to see all the signings in action. Hopefully we see Dujon Sterling. Of course, he's the only new signing that is injured, but he didn't travel, but looks like he will be training once everyone comes back to Glasgow. So with that, we do have a bit of cheap news before we get into the big news. Rangers have received about 200,000 for letting their players go to the World Cup during last season. I mean, who went to the World Cup for Rangers? I think it was Barisic, off the top of my head. That is the only name that I can actually think of that went. So it is what it is. It's a 200,000 payment. It means nothing to Rangers, although some people probably argue it does. And that's when we move on to the real money, the real Kusenda here, because Sky Sports are claiming that Rangers have transfer listed Kamara, Wright and Čolak. We've kind of talked about these three being transfer listed in separate videos, but yesterday it looked like Leeds United came in with a whopping £5 million offer for Glenn Kamara. Well, I say come in, they're debating coming in. They're thinking about it. They've been relegated to the Championship. They've lost quite a few of their key players. Leeds. I've seen Rodrigo go to Saudi Arabia, and I'm not saying Rodrigo's plays in the same position as Kamara, because of course he is a striker or a centre forward, just in behind the striker maybe. But you know, he's an attacking player. But Glenn Kamara, I think Glenn Kamara would do a good job for Leeds. It just hasn't really worked out for Kamara in recent years. I've seen him potentially linked with moves to France. I think Kamara's too good for a move to the English Championship. Personally, I feel like he should be at like a lower Premier League team or like a Ligue 1 team. But at the end of the day, I don't really care where he ends up. He can end up in Saudi Arabia, he can end up in Timbuktu, as long as Rangers get 5 million for him and we can pump that 5 million towards a move for Danilo. That's really all I'm interested in. But hopefully over the next coming days we'll see Leeds come in with a concrete offer. As for Scott Wright, of course, about a week ago, 10 days ago, whatever it was, when Gerrard got announced as El Atifig as manager, Scott Wright was one of the first names to be linked with a mega move to Saudi Arabia. 4 million, then it looked like 2.5 million, and now it looks like a big fat zero because nothing has come out about this. It looks like nothing is going to happen. You know what? I kind of believed it was horseshit from the beginning, because all it was some guy making up a bullshit story. Then all the newspapers like Daily Record, The Sun, jumped on board and actually thought it was legit. And it just shows you how much fake news there is going around, because realistically, Gerrard to pick a Rangers player and he takes Scott Wright. And I've seen some people argue that, well, maybe he wants to take the fringe Rangers players because he doesn't want to weaken Rangers. I mean, Gerrard stopped 50. No, he stopped 50. He won 55. But see, at the end of the day, I don't think he really gives a shit about like what happens to the Rangers in the future. Yeah, he'd rather us beat Celtic, but if he thought he could strengthen his team in Saudi Arabia by signing our best players, I'm sure he'd do it. He wouldn't just sign the shit ones for the sake of it. So I think this Scott Wright deal isn't going to happen. It looks like a move for him is probably going to be the English Championship, and hopefully we get a few million for it. And finally, Antonio Čolak has been linked with an exit. Bundesliga clubs, I mean, 2 million. I just don't get why we'd sell him for 2 million. I'm still on the fence about selling him, but surely we cannot sell a guy that scored 18 goals in 39 games for like 100,000 profit than what we signed him for last season. That would be bad business, man. If we're to sell Čolak, it's got to be for at least 5 million, man. But anyway, till next time, that is us, guys. Be back later, hopefully have a PS5 career mode part. Make sure you check out Fog Football. There's a lot of Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League qualifiers on the way. But until then, peace.